Hello guys, KP Shamino here with a new video for Diablo 4 Season 4. And in this video I'm going to show you guys how you can unlock nightmare dungeons. So how you can enter them the first time. Why are they important? Because they are going to allow you to level up your glyphs. So it's very important that you know how you need to do that. So at the start of the game you cannot do that. You need to do it a little bit later in the game, but you need to work a little bit for it. So first of all, you need to do the campaign. And second, you need to be in World Tier 3 Nightmare. So you can read it here. If you are in Tier 3, you can see Nightmare Sigils can drop that unseal Nightmare dungeons. So what are Nightmare Sigils? They are like keys. They got like a tier. And according to the tier on the sigil, you will unlock a certain tier Nightmare dungeon too. So the enemies, the level of the enemies always goes up and up. I will show you guys that a little bit later. So it can only drop in Tier 3 Nightmare. So how do you need to unlock Tier 3 Nightmare? You need to do the capstone dungeon in Kovachet on World Tier 2 Veteran. So where is that? It's very simple. So you come to Kovachet. You can see it here. And then you need to come here to the north and you need to do that. The moment that you do that dungeon, you can just come here to this statue and you can put it on Tier 3. And now you are ready to get the sigil and you can start doing the first nightmare dungeon. And that's what I'm going to show you guys now, how you get your first sigil. The next part, how to get your first sigil, because you need to have one key to get started. So you need to do the quest for the Whisper of Death. So what is that? That's a tree here. And you will find it over here. So here you can see, this is the Whisper of Death. It's all the way to the south. And you need to do quests for them. So you need to collect Grim Favors. And if you got 10, you got this quest. So now I can go to the Whisper of Death, offer your Grim Favors to the Tree of Whisper, and I will get a cache. And in that cache, you get a chance to get your first Nightmare Sigil. How do you do the Whispers? Very simple. So you just need to watch the map, and here you can see it. So these are the icons that you need to watch, and if you do this, you get a certain amount of Grim Favors. So you can do a dungeon, you get 5 of them, you can just collect stuff, you can slay, like here, I need to slay 50 goatmen, and then I get 1 Grim Favor. Why I cannot do it at the moment? Because I first need to finish the quest and then I can go again. So that's very simple, you can do it right away. So then we are going here to the tree, and we are going to get the first reward, and I hope that we got a sigil in it, and then we can get started on the nightmare dungeons. So you just need to talk with it. And then you just need to take one thing. It does not matter what you take. I'm going to take the amulets. And you will get here the cache in it. Then you open it. And let's have a look. Yeah, we are lucky. So here you can see it. So here is the first sigil that we got. And now we can start doing nightmare dungeons. And what I'm going to do now is, I'm going to activate the Nightmare dungeon, and I'm going to show you guys how you need to do it, how you need to craft them, because you start with 1, but now you can start collecting the sigils in the Nightmare dungeons. So your life is now a lot easier than before. Okay guys, we are going to activate now the first sigil. Where can you find it? Go inventory, consumables, and here you can see the sigil. So what do you see here? So you will see on this one, this is a tier 1. This is the lowest tier. It's going to be a nightmare dungeon in Kyrgyzstan. So you got 5 kind of sigils, and they are representing all one province, because you got 5 areas, I think, in this game. Then you can see revives allowed is 12. You can die 12 times, and the monster level will be 55. So with the tier going up, so tier 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on, you will see that the monster level goes up too. And then you see the dungeon affixes, so they make the dungeon a little bit harder. So quick killer, killing a monster grants 1.5% attack and move speed, stacking up to 15%. So this is a positive affix, and then the other one is a negative FX. So the higher the tier, the more FXs you will get. So what we are going to do now is we are going to activate this sigil. So you can already see it's in this area. So here you can find Kyrgyzstan, and here you will get your Nightmare Dungeon. So what do you need to do is you just need to right click, activate Nightmare Dungeon, accept, and here we go. So what you can do now is you can teleport to it. So just open the map with tab, and you can see it here. It's nicely in this province. And now you click here, and you just can fast travel to this dungeon. And now you can do your first dungeon. So you can see the tier 1 is at level 55. So be sure that you can kill enemies really easy at level 55. Now I'm going to do this dungeon, and then I'm going to show you guys the end. And then I'm going to show you guys how you need to craft sigils and how you can... how you need to do that. So I'm going to clear really quick this dungeon now, and I see you guys at the end of this dungeon. Okay guys, I just finished my first Nightmare Dungeon, and I got this as a reward. So I got now a second sigil, so I can continue with doing my Nightmare Dungeons. So it's a tier 2. In the past it worked like this, but I'm not anymore sure it's still the same. But in the past it was like this. If you do a tier 1 sigil, the highest sigils that you can drop is tier 3. I'm not anymore sure that's still the case. I would think it's still the case. Why are they doing that? Very simple, because if you do a tier 1 sigil as a level 53, the enemies are level 55, and you get the tier 8 drop, the enemies are going to be very strong, and most of the time you will die. So always remember that. Now I'm going to talk about a couple of mechanics for the sigils. So you can craft them, you can salvage them, and that's something that I'm going to show you guys. But first I'm going to show you guys the material that you will get if you salvage a sigil and what you need to make a sigil. And that's the material. It's called sigil powder. You can see it here. So I already got 3 of them in this dungeon. It started dropping, by the way, in the Nightmare Dungeon. I never saw it somewhere else. So you probably need to do a Nightmare Dungeon, or you need to do Whisper. So you can see it here. It's obtained from elite monsters, Whisper bounties, what I just showed you guys, and you can use it on the occultist to make sigil, and you will get it if you salvage sigils too. You would think, why would I salvage my sigils? I need them. Later on, you will see that you will get a lot of lower tiers. For example, if you're on tier 8 and you still got tier 1s, yeah, you can salvage them, because you're never going to use them again. So now I'm going to the occultist, and I will show you guys what you need to do to craft them. I'm going to do really quick this. So this is the experience for your glyphs. So I'm going to do this. You put it here, and you put... don't forget to do that. So we are going now back to the city, and I'm going to show you guys a couple of other things. So where is he sitting here? Because this is... it's over here. So the occultist, you just go to the map, and then it's this. So we are going to click on this dude. Here we go. Okay, you will find him here. Is this the right one? Yeah, so you can talk with her, and here you will see 2 things. You can craft sigils with the powder, and you can see right away that you can craft tier 6 to 10, 11 to 15, 16 to 20. So you always need to understand, always be aware that they are going to be very high level. So I'm not sure how the calculations are. Once again, I thought it was 50 plus 16 or something. I think that's the level. But you need to understand, if you take 20 here, you need to do a dungeon with level 20 enemies. So always remember that. So you can craft them here too. I got now enough powder to craft them. So you got sacred, and then later on you get ancestral ones that you can craft here. So you can see there are a lot of them that you can craft, and they always go higher and higher, but for this one you need 450 sigil powder. I would not do that at the start. Just get familiar with the nightmare dungeons, and then you can work your way up. If you see that you're way too strong for tier 1 and 5, yeah, just go to tier 6 and 10. Just craft a couple of them. If I do now my tier 2, I probably can craft this one. So that's how you can craft them. Just the same like this one, you will get one. And then here you need to salvage them. So here you can see salvage sigil. So I'm not going to do that. You can take this one. And if I click now on this one, I will get powder, but I'm not going to do that. Why not? Because I only got one sigil. So you can do all the sacred ones, you can do all the central ones, and you can do all sigils. I would stay away from this one. So at the start, don't click on anything, just take this one. If you want to salvage one, do it like that. Later on, you can just do it with this if you're a little bit familiar, because it's possible if you misclick on sacred and you got 4 of them, you can start over again. If you don't have enough powder, you need to start over again, and it's possible if you cannot craft a sigil, you need to go back to the whisper tree, get your cash, and try to get one to get started again. So build up a little bit of stash before you start salvaging stuff. So that was it, guys. I cannot say more. I'm going to do a couple of more nightmare dungeons, build up my powder, get some higher tiers in, and I want to thank you guys for watching. Bye bye.